What is up, and welcome back to the W Sports Podcast. You've got Jimothy and Tubby, and we are back at it to give you all of this weekend's football news and action. We could do baseball too, but honestly, there's only that one trade Houston made with Atlanta, and it's not enough to really talk about yet. But Tubby, welcome back to the show as we look to the end of the college football season.
I know. It's, 2 weeks left in the regular season until we start getting into conference championships. Then
Which is exciting.
Yeah, it's exciting, but it's also sad at the same time.
It's a sign of the end, and that's sad because college football is so stinking short. It's so short compared to everything else. It should be the longest one. We should get more time. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's definitely the more exciting of when we're talking about football.
Yeah. So we're gonna get into that a little bit here, but don't let me forget. I have a good transition idea for us. Whenever we get to the NFL side, it was something I saw online, and I think you'd get a good laugh out of it, Tubby. But
all right,
have you seen OU's renditions? Like every power school is doing some kind of renovation, right? On their stadiums. Have you seen what OU's talking about? All right, so they're going to do – it's the opposite side that they haven't done anything to yet. And the goal is essentially to – they don't have any renderings of it yet, and I think that's intentional. But there's going to be some people that are going to lose season tickets, and it won't be done before the next season. So you'll have a season where you're kind of like Vanderbilt, or you're kind of like Mizzou, where you have construction happening, capacity to be lower, which is always a downer. Like it's such a big-time bummer when that kind of stuff happens. You're going to host Alabama next year, and you're going to have this happening. But the thing that I don't like about it is it's going to give more club and more suites. And that sucks because fans who go to the game, Tubby, you went to the Michigan game, heard it was an electric atmosphere, it was a night game. But you would probably agree that on one side there was far louder than like the original curved inside. I don't remember what end zone to that new side that was filled in. That's so much quieter. Now expand this to a whole sideline. And Florida State did this a couple of years ago, and they have club levels, which normally be in the middle, No, they actually put it right almost on the sideline. And if you look at the renditions, it looks really cool. It looks nice, and it's good if you're in the club level, if you can afford that. But it is killer to the average fan and the average experience that you could have at a game because it's literally you're making people more comfortable. They're not as enthusiastic as the diehard fans are.
Yeah, no. For me, like going to the game and knowing, okay, only time I'm going to get to sit is whenever we have a new kickoff, change of possession or whatever. And the rest of the time I'm standing, I'm yelling. I don't care. So, yeah, I mean, that brings to the atmosphere.
Yeah.
So taking away that, I think, I don't like that.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan. I know some of the donors that are helping this, they get like a 25-year membership to this club. And so game days will come. They'll have a really fun experience. But I'm telling you, for people like us who are not going to be in those clubs unless something insane happens, it really just dampens the experience. And it's just bad for sports. I'm really sad about it because the further we get into this, the more that this happens, it's going to be less and less access. There was actually, I think it was the Wall Street Journal. They did this video on YouTube. It was really, really cool. And they said how architecture design goes into NFL stadiums or pro stadiums. And it's designed now to get the maximum amount of money possible, not necessarily fan experience or not necessarily the most fans that we can get in the space.
Yeah.
And that's it's so sad.
Go look at all the new stadiums that have been built in the NFL. And look at the capacity compared to all these older college stadiums. I think the highest, out of all the major stadiums when it comes to football in the United States, the highest NFL one I think was 16th or 17th overall in capacity.
Yeah, it's so sad. So maybe that's the title of this episode. It's not This Weekend in Football. I'll probably change it once we post this. No, it's the problem with stadiums, pro stadiums and college stadiums that we're going into. And once you do it, it's going to be so, well, I'm going to say not hard. It's going to be nearly impossible to fix.
Yeah.
Because you can't go back. How are you going to go back to having more seats but less money? You're not going to do it.
No. They're like, oh, we're getting the money. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and it's just money drives so much, and I wish it didn't drive this, but it's gonna. So I don't know. The good old days of college football, the way we liked it, is probably a little bit. It's gone. I will
Yeah.
say, at least we've seen we've seemed to have weathered the storm of the transfer portal a little bit. It's not the same as. I don't think I'm not hearing it nearly as much commotion around transfer portal guys yet, like I did the last few years.
I mean, Sam Levitt's name's already been floated around.
I do get that one.
There's a couple. I mean, like maybe we're not hearing about it as much, but I think you got to believe that here in the next few weeks that it's going to ramp up because they closed down the second transfer portal window. So there's not one in May anymore. So it's only that December transfer window, and so it's going to make it even more hectic. Which I don't understand that. Like, okay, we're going to cut down the windows here, but we're going to do it still right in the middle of the college football playoffs.
Yeah, I hear you. I don't like it either.
How does that make sense?
I think, even you look at Oklahoma as an example. I think they have a one or two players that are essentially saying, hey, I'm not going to play so I can salvage another year and go in the transfer portal. And depth is such a big piece if you're looking for a playoff run, especially in the SEC or maybe the Big Ten too. And you're just not. I'm just like, man, I need you to play. And and I understand it from the athlete's perspective. Like, take care of yourself, but it just sucks that that's where we are.
I mean, why can't we put it like either right before or right after, or right before the second, the official national signing day in February? Why can't we do that? Why do we have to do it in the middle? I get school and all that stuff.
That'd be the biggest reason why, yeah.
But it still makes no sense. Just because the fact is that you are now telling these kids, okay, you got to make a decision. Do you want to be part of that team if they make that run? Or do you just want to give up and go, okay, I got to go do my thing? And we saw it with Texas a few years ago when Malik Murphy enters the transfer portal. If Quinn Ewers gets hurt at any point in the game, you have a true freshman, Arch Manning's playing in that, in a big time game where he's never taken snaps before. It just makes things so, I don't know, chaotic, because and then we hear everything that happened with Tennessee last year with Nico and all those starters on the offense saying, hey, we need more NIL money, or we're going to enter the transfer portal and we're not going to play in the playoff game because we're playing extra games that, we ain't getting paid for, blah, blah, blah. It just makes everything so muddy and chaotic. And these teams that work so hard to make it to this point are now being torn apart because these kids are having to make these decisions right in the middle of that, biggest part of the season.
Yeah. It's got to be a distraction for these teams, but that may be one distraction. But I got 4 coaches. I want you to tell me, Tubby, are they going to be where they are now or somewhere new? That's all you got to say. Okay. We're going to keep it. You don't have to tell me where they're going, but I want to know if they're going to be going somewhere else. We're going to start with Lane Kiffin. Is he staying or going?
I think the money speaks. I think he leaves.
I think he leaves too, 100%. I think he's saying no or whatever. Steve Sarkisian, we talked about that a little bit. To the NFL, the Titans are knocking. There's only 32 of those jobs, man.
Yeah. I'm going to say yes. I think there's writing on the wall when we look at the recruitment right now. I mean, you've lost multiple guys. Like 3 or 4 day span, they lost 4 guys in their 2026 recruiting cycle that decommitted just out of the blue. So I think there might be some writing on the wall where either these players are getting, maybe something said to him, say, hey, he might be thinking about leaving or whatever. So I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say Sark heads to the NFL.
I'm kind of feeling the same way too on that one. It's just, there's only 32 of those jobs. The Titans are not a good job right now. That team is brutal, but we'll see. Eli Drinkwitz.
Yes, I think Drink leaves also.
Yeah, it makes sense. You think, again, SEC Power School, correct?
Yep. I think he will be. I'll go out on a limb. I'm going to say he goes to Auburn.
Auburn, okay. I figured he might be like if the loser of Kiffin goes after him.
I think so. This is. I'll go ahead. I'll make predictions. I think Lane ends up in Gainesville. I think he ends up at Florida. I think Summerall ends up. The Tulane coach ends up at LSU. They keep it within state. We've seen how he's been able to do it. I think Drinkwitz ends up at Auburn.
Did you see what Tulane's coach said?
Yeah.
About being ranked?
Yeah, we ain't that good. Why are we ranked? Yeah.
I thought that was hilarious. I mean, that's you want LSU?
I mean,
you think the governor's going to be okay with that?
I'm just saying, like, the fact is that at least he's saying it. I mean, hey, I mean, they're good. I don't understand what he's talking about, but I mean, yeah.
Well, how about this one right here? You already mentioned their quarterback in the portal, Dillingham. Is he in or out?
I don't know if I'm going to say no, because I'm not sure what job he would take. And he is an Arizona State guy. He played there. It's where you got to start when it comes to coaching. I think he's loyal. I think he stays there. I think there will be people come knocking, maybe like a Penn State or something like that. But I think he stays out west for at least another year. I know it'll be difficult. You're going to lose Jordan Tyson, and sounds like you're losing Sam Levitt also. So you are going to have to rebuild. Maybe it is good time for him to take a job, but I don't know if LSU, Auburn, or Florida, like the big teams right now that are open, are really going to look at him as much as they will some of these other guys.
Yeah, and I think what we should look at on this is sometimes the grass is not going to be greener. Yeah. For the coach or even for the school to move on and go to someone else. Sometimes it's time. It is time. But
I think for him too, he has such a good spot where he is when it comes to recruiting out west, because that's where he's been. I mean, he was the offense coordinator up at Oregon for a few years, and he was able to get Scadavo from Sacramento State, all these players. So I think that he has built a really good relationship out west. So I think it'd be really hard for him to go to a place like Penn State and try to recruit out there where he's not really known to be, recruit, where his, area is of recruiting. So I think he stays. And I think a big part of it though is due to the fact that all these really, high end teams that are looking for a coach are going to probably go a different direction than him.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's funny how quickly things can change in the college football world. A couple weeks ago, OU fans, there were many of them that were ready to move on from Brent Venables, and now there are many that are saying, "Give that man an extension, a massive buyout. Let's make it happen." Ultimately, I'm a fan of just don't rush anything, but at the same time, because I think he's one of those that lives and breathes Oklahoma, like he loves it. But know that I want them to make the playoff. Win a game, and then at some point they're going to get stopped on offense, and then that's when they're going to have to all right, all y'all got to go. All this offensive coordinator, not OC, but all the coaches, position coaches, you got to go. Let's clean house. Because if the problem is if they do too well, that Brent won't do it.
Yeah, that's true. Very true.
And their defense is good enough to win. Their offense does not have to be incredible.
No.
So we'll see. Speaking of that, that's one of our matchups. How dare the SEC put their only ranked top 25 matchup this weekend at 11 a.m. Right. They're hosting Mizzou. Who you got in this game, Tubby?
I got Oklahoma. I think the defense is going to be too much. Even if Bo Prabula comes back, I mean, he hasn't played for 4 or 5 weeks. Yeah, I mean, dislocated ankle. Yeah, I don't buy him being back. And then if Zoller's the quarterback, we've seen what he's done. He hasn't done, really a whole lot of anything. So I think Oklahoma's defense will be too much for them, and Oklahoma will get the win.
Oklahoma's a 7.5-point favorite. I think it'll be closer than that, but I do think Oklahoma wins. It's at home. They've actually played better on the road than at home, so hopefully they get this one, especially after last year's.
Yeah, that ugly game.
I almost went to that game. I'm so glad I didn't. I would have been miserable. How about this one? The afternoon matchup, Oregon versus USC. Both teams still with an outside shot to make the Big Ten championship game, but they are both pretty much the way the standings look. They need to win in order to really make sure they have a playoff run here. Who you got?
Yeah. Is it bad that I'm hoping USC makes a run and gets into the playoffs?
No, I don't think so.
It has to come to Norman. I am so hoping that scenario happens so bad. And nice. So I'm going to say USC wins, honestly. I have not been impressed with Oregon over the last few weeks, and the injuries are a big issue for Oregon when it comes to their playmakers. Sadiq has been hurt. We still haven't seen Evan Stewart yet this year. Their young Demario Moore, he's been hurt. They have a lot of injuries when it comes to the position, like the wide receiver and tight end position right now. I'm going to say USC's offense will be a little too much that Oregon won't be able to keep up when it comes to offensive side of things.
Yeah. You look at this team, and they have not been as dominant as what you would have expected against some of the more talented teams. This is a talented and albeit a really well coached team and a better defense than they've had in the past. So I do think it's close. It is in Eugene. That's the hard part. But 10.5-point favorites, that's a lot.
Yeah, I don't buy that.
But I'm going to pick Oregon just so we don't completely go all together in agreement here. But I think it is going to be a toss-up in this one.
I do too. And I don't think Dante Moore's been overly impressive over the last 5 weeks of the season.
Yeah. That's fair. Does Vandy beat Kentucky this week?
Yeah.
Okay. Just want to make sure. I would just say real quick, a Vandy team, they can somehow sneak their way into the first team out and, hey, we should have made it, that kind of thing. Just watch out. Texas bounce back against Arkansas.
Dude, I was talking about this one today. I think there's an outside chance. No, okay, I'm not going to say outside. I think there's a decent chance that Arkansas beats Texas just because of how explosive that offense is. They are bad all around when it comes to the defensive side. But Taylor Green and that offense can put up some points. We've seen Texas struggle putting up points at times. If they go and they really struggle to put up points like they did over the last few weeks, I think there's a decent chance that Arkansas could win just because I don't think Texas's defense is as good as is advertised either. Yeah, Colin Simmons is a stud. Dude's an absolute monster off the edge, and Arkansas's offensive line isn't great, but it seems like when Arkansas plays those Texas teams, they always have something to prove, and they play harder. So I'm going to say Texas wins, but if Arkansas wins, I'm not going to be completely shocked just because I think that they may overlook them looking ahead to Texas A&M next week.
Overlook that, and then Sark. Like if he's actually not locked in, he's looking at some of the other stuff, what's next. That happens on every single team when the coach starts to look beyond. So we'll see. Any chance Cincinnati at home can upset BYU?
Yeah, I think they can. I think Brendan Sorsby's, played pretty solid this year. Cincinnati was ranked at one point. So BYU having to travel, we've talked about we're not completely sold on BYU at this point right now. So, yeah, I think there's a realistic chance that Cincinnati could upset BYU this week.
Yeah, I do like their shot at it this week. They have a good enough offense, and I think if BYU somehow makes the playoff, if they play a team with an above-average defense, good luck. Like I just don't see it happening. There's a YouTube channel I follow, and they try to go to different. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's Snapback Sports. I'll just say that real quick. And they went to the BYU game against Utah, I think. They said best atmosphere they've been at, like especially for the size of stadium. But those fans are locked in, passion-filled. It is cool. So just to watch that, it's really fun. But I think once you get on the road, I don't know if that offense is going to still translate. So,
well, we already seen it. I mean, we saw it last week. Texas Tech.
Absolutely. It fell flat. 9 plays across half the midfield. So, there was any final thoughts on college football before I just go over a quick story real quick?
I'm going to say Ohio State, watch out for Rutgers this week. I think that there's I'm just Rutgers isn't overly impressive or anything like that, but the fact is that you've got the one game that Ryan Day cannot win next week against Michigan. Is that team going to look ahead to that game and maybe trip up before they get there? I think there's a chance. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to say bold prediction. Ohio State loses this week to Rutgers.
That would be a massive, massive upset and a shakeup in the playoff standings. So there you go.
Yeah.
All right. So there was a video that was going around on YouTube or social media, whatever it was. I saw it on YouTube, and it was this guy's girlfriend who said, "Hey, if it snowed every year in Alaska for the last 30 years, how much would you be willing to bet that it will snow this year?" And he goes, Dude, everything. Whatever I have in the bank, go put money on it. I have 30 years of data that says it's going to happen again. And just for context, he's wearing a Dallas Cowboys jersey, so I already see where this is going.
I've seen that.
She's like, well, how come every year you think your Cowboys are winning the Super Bowl, but for 30 years you've had the data? And I'm like, just get it. Let's go.
I've seen that. Have you seen the other? There's another one too where she's like setting up a VCR to their TV, and he's like, why do we have a VCR? She's like, this is the only way you can see that your team's won a Super Bowl. I have to have the VCR to play the VHS. Yeah. Oh yeah, I've seen that. Those are pretty funny.
Yeah, that was a good move. Good move. It's good fun.
Yeah.
I know a couple of Dallas Cowboys fans, and they're loving the Chiefs being down right now. Good Lord, the media already saying what's happened to superpowers in the AFC, including the Chiefs. The Chiefs dynasty is over. Like, listen, guys, listen. We did this all the time for Tom Brady and the Patriots, and I am not doing the same thing again. I'm not.
No, I won't either.
Yeah. They have a lot of problems. They got to fix them, but so do a lot of these teams. Some of the they get the Colts this week. As we're recording this, Bills and Texans are tonight. I think we both had the Bills win this game, but Davis Mills maybe against that Bills defense, maybe.
Watch out for long neck. Watch out for long neck. You never know.
But Colts and Chiefs, it's at Arrowhead where the Chiefs are 4-1. What's the upset? Is the upset technically if the Colts lose because they're 8-2?
Yeah, that would be technically the upset just because of record. But if there's one coach, one quarterback in the NFL that you would bet money on that they are going to figure anything out, you are betting on Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid any time of the day, don't matter. And so that's why I think that the fact that people are like, oh, they're not even going to make the playoffs this year, they can't figure anything out. They will figure something out. We seen it a couple years ago when they won the Super Bowl. Their offense was not good. Their defense got them to that point and got them into the playoffs, and their defense helped a lot in the playoffs. But then they were able to find a different way on offense to score points, and that's what ultimately won them the Super Bowl. It was them transitioning and finding something different. And I imagine that's what's going to happen again this year. And then they're going to make it to the playoffs, and everyone's going to overlook them. Like you said, everyone did with Tom Brady in those years where they felt a little down, and they win games in the playoffs, and they're like, how on earth are they winning games in the playoffs? And they were struggling in the regular season. It's the coaching, it's the culture, everything that they have built. And on top of that, you've won 3 Super Bowls.
And then the media will say, and you all doubted.
Yeah.
And like, no.
Yeah.
The W Sports podcast and their listeners did not, because they just got to listen and they understood it. And how many games? So they're 5-5. How many games of 7 left do the Chiefs realistically need to look to win in order to at least get in the playoffs? And I think that's a horrendous thing to have to ask, but that's what we're asking.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking about the AFC right now with their 5-5. I honestly, I think you have to go 5-2. Okay. Just because I think 10 wins right now with the 17 game set schedule is the mark that you're going to have to hit.
And right now they still have to, that would, because they're tied with the Texans, who I think they're better. The Jaguars who won a tiebreaker, which sucks. And then the Chargers, who are 6. That's the teams that are at the bottom right now in the cusp.
Yeah. And so, I mean, if any indication of what the rest of the season is going to be like for the Chargers, you look at what happened in that Jaguars game this last weekend. Yeah, we're not looking great. And then the Jaguars, that's a team that you can't count on any week. And same thing with the Texans. So that right there just tells you that you don't have many opponents ahead of you that are like good that you go, oh man, we really got to hope that they just absolutely fall off. And so that's another reason why I think that it sets up fine for them to still make the playoffs. And on top of that, if they are the last team in the playoffs, I feel sorry for you if you were the 3rd seed.
It does make for a pretty rough first week matchup.
Yeah.
So let's just throw this out there. Here's the remaining schedule. You tell me if there's a shot for them to win. Yes, in 1 possession games this season, they're not. They're not perfect like they were a couple years ago. But Colts this weekend, we already talked about that one. Realistic shot, yes sir.
Yeah, I think they win that game.
That's one. At the Cowboys, Thanksgiving, short week.
Yeah, that's a win.
All right, Texans.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we're already up to 3. Chargers.
If it's any indication with Chargers playing, yes.
And it's an Arrowhead. At the Titans.
Oh, yeah, that's an absolute win.
All right. Broncos at home.
I mean,
I was thinking just split the division. They already lost the one.
Already won. Yeah. So, yeah.
Raiders.
And, yeah. I mean,
bro, blink, and it's like the Bengals last year, and you're like, how the heck? Please don't let them make the playoffs.
Yeah, it's in the great thing for them is the schedule sets up really well for them. And then just say if they did lose to the Colts this week, you still have many games on that schedule that are really easy wins.
Yeah. Now they do need, you got to take care of business, but the media needs to stop talking like this team is dead.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. It's crazy that people, what's going on, bro? Well, we know they have no run game. It's pretty clear that that's the biggest issue right now. But if you don't believe that Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes can figure something out, then you haven't watched the last 5-6 years of the NFL.
Yeah. Sorry, world. This is the same stuff we said about the Patriots for years.
It is
so absolutely long. It's so nice to be on this side of it and be like, okay, just be patient, trust the process. You're not going to win every year anyway. It's not realistic, but like, give yourself a shot. So, there is. So do you think we're going to transition to a different team? We're not going to only talk Chiefs here. Bengals against the Patriots. Patriots are looking to get to 10 wins already, but there's a chance that Joe Burrow, who is getting some first team reps, plays this weekend. Do you expect him to play, Tubby?
I'm going to say yes.
Oh boy.
I think Joe Cool plays. Now he will be playing without his top target.
It's true.
But it's still Joe Burrow. He's still got T. Higgins. He's still got Chase Brown on that team. That's a dangerous team when Joe Burrow's healthy.
Yep. No, I definitely agree. I think their defense is so bad. I'm not sure it's obviously not gonna be enough at this point.
No.
3-7's rough.
Yeah.
But even just for the sake of the Bengals and for the NFL, like get a good team out there, something to watch. Yeah. No Jamar Chase. I can't believe they only got one game after that. Come on, man.
Yeah. Well, I've never spit on anyone. And then there's the video. Yeah.
Come on, man. Yeah. I do think that there are quite a few matchups that I don't care to watch this week. I don't know if you've looked at the slate. Titans, Seahawks. No thanks. Jets, Ravens. Lamar's hurt. It's the Jets. Who are they even playing at quarterback? Raiders and Browns. I'll watch it because I want Shadur Sanders to get a shot, but I expect absolutely nothing but bad numbers from him. Did you watch any of the highlights from him last week?
I did.
What did you notice?
The offensive line is blocking no one. They're blocking. I don't know if you've seen. Have you seen the still photo of when he threw the interception?
No. But I can't imagine.
There's literally 3 guys on one side. One guy's blocking someone. The other 2 guys are just standing there like they're waiting for someone. And then there's the other side of the offensive line, and there's 4 guys. The center and the right guard are literally standing there blocking no one. And I'm like, no wonder he's like under pressure trying to figure out who's going to throw the football to, because your whole right side of your offensive line is absolutely doing nothing. And you got your left guard and your left tackle trying to guard 4 guys. Like, what are we doing?
And here's what I would do. If I was Las Vegas this offseason, I am trying to trade for him.
Yeah.
Not that Las Vegas is better.
No.
He's got to get out of there. Get out. Dylan's got there's no shot.
Yeah.
That culture is so bad, it's embarrassing.
They blew their one chance to ever have a franchise quarterback.
They did.
They blew it for a guy named Deshaun Watson.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This guy just makes my skin crawl. Everything you need to know about the team right there.
Yeah, I mean, you had the one guy that was like, I want to go there and I want to change things.
Yeah.
Like, how many quarterbacks coming out of college are going to be like, that's the team I want to go to because I'm going to change the culture and we're going to turn into a winning culture.
And
he does that. Yeah, he does that, wins a playoff game against one of your arch rivals in your division, and then it's like the next year, he was hurt and he wasn't playing good, so we're going to go out and get this guy that just got suspended for a whole season because he's in some serious, legal troubles. We're going to trade multiple first-round picks, and then we're just going to outcast this guy.
Yeah, absolutely terrible. He played through those injuries too. I mean, it was insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. They get what they get.
Yep.
Jags, Cardinals, any interest?
No.
I know. The fact that Kyler Murray has now been pushed out, like he's going to find a new home probably next year, and I wonder where he lands. That should be an interesting topic.
Yeah.
I don't know where he fits, but the Cowboys are 4-5-1 right now. They're at home. Do they have any shot to beat a weird 8-2 Eagles team?
No.
This Eagles team, remember the last 4 years of this team is Super Bowl, we hate each other's guts. Super Bowl, and it feels like
we hate each other's guts again. Yeah. I mean, the talk of players on the offense not liking Jalen Hurts, and then A.J. Brown wanting out, Saquon Barkley really not being anywhere to be found lately. Dude. Yeah, it's a weird team.
So I could see the Cowboys winning this going into Thanksgiving. Their offense is good enough to keep up with anybody. That defense is absolutely
it depends on how healthy Dak is.
Yeah,
he popped up on the injury report, didn't practice today with the hip issue, so
yeah, and a Thursday that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Who's their backup? It's not Cooper or Trey
Joe
Lance.
Milton.
I'd actually like to see that. I don't think he's good, but I'd like to see it.
Yeah, I want to see that arm.
Yeah, go just CD's down there somewhere. If not, George Pickens is.
Pickens, yeah. So one of those two guys is down there somewhere. Just throw it.
Yeah, it's the Patrick Mahomes to Tyreek bit
he
used to do. Falcons, Saints.
No.
Tyler Shuck. No, you don't care.
No.
All right.
Kirk Cousins, Tyler Shuck. I'm out.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins. That's a good point too. Poor Michael Penix. Buccaneers and Rams. It's one of the better matchups for the weekend. The problem is it's Sunday Night Football, and it has tragically been Thursday Night Football 2.0 this year. Are you expecting much good out of this? I mean, the Bucs are trying to get healthy.
No, I don't. Just because the Bucs, they put up a lot of points last week, lost, but that was against a really bad defense, and you're going up against a really good defense in LA and a really good offense. I just don't know with all the injuries that the Buccaneers have right now if they can stay up with the Rams. Yeah.
And I think fantasy owners, Bucky Irving coming back, if he makes it back here pretty soon, it's going to be a mess with Tucker, Irving, and my brain. White. It's going to be gross. Yeah. Great for the football team, terrible for us as fantasy owners. Sorry, world.
Yep, definitely.
All right, then the 49ers versus the Panthers. Panthers, I'm double checking. They're 6-5.
Yeah, watch out now.
Is this a legit 6-5?
No.
No, it's not. But 450 yards?
And but Bryce is looking good. The first 3 weeks of the season, we were all like, man, were we wrong? And now we're seeing Bryce starting to figure things out again. Rico's opened up the run game. Tedero McMillan is starting to really shine as that number one wide receiver. The defense is playing surprisingly well.
Yeah. And the Bills,
Yeah. So, I mean, not saying that they are contenders or anything, but maybe we're starting to see some semblance of an offense. Dave Canales is starting to get his fingers in there on the offense and really building, a solid offense. So, I mean, I love it for Bryce Young because I was really high on him at the beginning of the year. In the first 3 weeks, I was just like, man, what happened? We saw the end of last year and how well you played. And now we're starting to see that Bryce Young again, for the most part of since he kind of got benched partway through that game. And now we're starting to see him emerge into that guy we saw last year and even a little bit better than he was at the end of last season.
Yeah. Well, they get the 49ers and then the Rams before the Saints and then Bucks. So you're going to get a good idea of how legit is this team just to take another step forward in the right direction, or are we still kind of have some of those growing pains? But yes, I had to double check. This doesn't look right. They have a better record than the Chiefs. So.
Yeah. I mean, they beat the Packers in Green Bay.
Yeah. It's high praise. Just think if they would have beat the Jags or the Cardinals in the first 2 weeks.
Yeah. I mean, really, they would be fighting right now for that lead in the NFC South.
Yeah.
I mean, what are they, a game and a half, 2 games back right now?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's insane. They haven't had their bye week yet either. So, I mean, they still have time. But
yeah.
Wow. Well, I'm going to have to hop off here, everyone. But if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button. If you're new to the channel, welcome. We are truly glad that you chose to be a part of the W Sports Podcast. It's a podcast where you don't have to hear the other major networks that just say stuff to make you mad, that just say stuff to say stuff. We're just here to talk normal sports, and we'd love for you all to be a part of it. So whenever we go live, about twice a week, you can jump in the chat, you can comment afterwards. We'll do our best to hear your takes on it too, because that's what's important. But if there's one thing we've learned in the 5 years of this podcast, is you just got to listen.
Just got to listen.
See y'all next time.
See ya.
See ya.